Hey guys, good morning everyone. We have the young Matthew Bradbury on our podcast today. Welcome to the Young Developer Podcast, Matt. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm very well.
No problem. Thanks for coming. Fucking hell, I actually thought you were going to say no when you first wrote you an email.
Of course, mate. Anything for you.
Thanks to my mate Alex Gibson. Amazing human being. I've known Alex since we were like, I think 13, 14, went to school together. So
Yeah, wow.
Alex put me in contact with you.
He is a great man.
Yeah, he is.
And how good has his transformation been over the last
my
12
God.
months, getting into fitness, changing his life?
It's massive.
Unbelievable.
Like, we were talking about it before. I think he lost like 20 or 30 kilograms. Like,
Yeah.
legitimately, he's like was a really skinny kid. And then, I guess, working, balancing life, partying, drinking. And he's just a really good, balanced human being. And it's so interesting because now he's boxing. Like, he's training every single day and his body's impeccable. He's actually just got engaged, by the way.
I saw that.
To
Very
the
romantic
beautiful Lonnie.
location there.
In Maldives, Jesus
Maldives.
Christ. I think they're paying
Set
him
the
too
bar
much, by the
pretty
way.
high. Did not show my girlfriend those photos.
Jesus Christ. Like, he's just an amazing human being. I'm like so
Absolutely.
grateful that he put me in contact with you. And he's got a fight coming up soon. So I think just as a return of favor, just to say thank you. I'm going to make sure I'm there. And
Absolutely.
if anyone wants to get in contact with him, to watch him fight, I'll put him in contact. So Alex, this is to you, mate. Appreciate it, my old friend, my buddy. So Matt, tell me a bit about yourself, bud. You're a landscape architect.
Yeah, so I'm a landscape architect, been doing it for a bit over 10 years, and I now manage the landscape team in Melbourne for Spiire.
Wow, Spiire.
And so Spiire is a multidisciplinary consultancy.
Okay, yeah.
Specialise in the property market.
In Melbourne?
In Melbourne,
Yeah.
Canberra, Bendigo, Shepparton, Albury,
Yeah.
Geelong.
Yeah.
So all over the place.
Yeah, okay.
Property is probably our main thing.
Like the land development
land
sector.
development, urban renewal, those sorts of projects.
Yeah.
But also do a bit of infrastructure work for government sector as well.
Where do you sit there? You are head of their landscape architect division?
Yeah, for the Melbourne office.
So the big dog?
Yeah, try my best. But we've got a team of 38 wonderful landscape architects there.
Yeah.
So I'm very privileged to be able to work with them. Well, they do, as you can see, make me tear my hair out on occasion.
I'm losing my dreadlocks, by the way. Thank you to DFC. I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah.
Seriously, a dreadlock. Literally, the other day, a dreadlock fell out. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening to my life right now? Okay.
Stress, man, it's not good for your health.
Black guys look really good bald, by the way, so
You're
I've got it
lucky.
covered.
You're lucky. You're all good.
So Spiire, you're currently at. How long you been there?
8 years, mate. Just ticked over 8 years this month.
Jeez, long service leave.
Oh, mate, bring it on.
And where are you going to go?
I want to head to Greece soon. So my family's from there originally. So my grandparents were immigrants from Greece in the 60s.
Yeah. Can you speak that lovely language? No?
I butcher it on occasion. I do my best. People look at me and go, well, at least he tried.
So give me one word. Say something. Say good morning, afternoon. Give me something.
I could say, Yasu Romain, Bospa, Sisakala. That means, hello Romain, how are you? Hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm very well. I don't even know what to respond there. I'm like, I eat your beautiful food.
Oh man, I cannot wait for that.
Okay.
I cannot wait. Greek food is one of my favourite things.
Oh,
and
nice.
especially some home-cooked meals with the family on the little island in Greece.
That'd be nice.
Fantastic. It's paradise.
So mum and dad were born in Australia, or they were born in Greece?
They were both born here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But to Greek parents. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
So where did you grow up?
So I was raised by my mum and my grandparents in Ivanhoe.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, Greek immigrant, so it was kind of interesting. For me, it just felt normal. I didn't realise it might have been strange to other people, but I was just like, okay.
Those beautiful lunch boxes that you
exactly,
to go to school.
Exactly. Everyone's got their Vegemite sandwich. I've got like a souvlaki.
You're
This
like,
is
what?
normal, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
surely, guys.
But no, it was fantastic. And I reckon that's where that was the start of my journey to where I am now. Really, is
community.
It's that great sense of family and community. My grandfather was a builder.
Okay.
And so he was always around that sort of space. And he was a bit of a backyard inventor as well. Like he was
like
always
most blokes
on,
think we are.
Yeah.
Until we get it wrong and call it experts.
Working on some contraptions or building something.
Yeah.
And like I could see in his way, like he was super creative. Like even though his tools were his hands, and what he could build, he just somehow managed to build these amazing little inventions.
So his artwork was like an extension of who he is.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what
so
started
important.
me
So
on that
important.
creative space.
The
I was
creative
just watching
journey.
him create these things, and I was so impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I wish I could do that.
It's amazing.
And so I think that's, when I think back now, that's probably where
The inspiration comes from.
Yeah, to get into a creative design space.
And you went to school in Ivanhoe? Primary school?
Primary school I did, and then...
Shout out to them. Look how far you've come.
And then went over to Doncaster and spent a lot of years there. Went to high school out in Doncaster. That was good. I must say I wasn't the best student.
Neither was I. I hated high school. I'm going to tell everyone
wasn't
now.
the most studious.
Oh my God.
Right.
Like it was tough, man. Like it was one of those times, I don't know about your experience, but mine, it was not fun. No. I just everyone thought the same. And I have a massive issue with the education system. Like we are basically teaching people how to all think alike. And it concerns me massively. I think I used to get in trouble for everything, but then if you didn't think like everyone else, you were sort of considered to be a dummy or someone who wasn't going to go far, or you didn't have much aspirations to do something.
And you learn it all out of a book. And I don't learn that. I'm a visual person. I need to see things and experience things to learn it. And I need to see it. And so reading chapters and chapters of a book is pointless. Not learning anything from that. So anyway, it was the benefit of it was I got to meet some great people who I'm still friends with to this day.
I'm friends with a lot of people from school, and it's when you see each other, you see a lot of them within the industry. An example would be Alex, and it's really good to still have that beautiful relationship.
Absolutely.
20 years later, getting old.
I know,
it's like the worst.
Don't think back. It was only yesterday.
Jeez. So what made? So you were in high school, and then you were like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Okay.
I literally had no idea.
Yeah.
So I went to...
Hands up. I thought I was going to be like Chris Gale 2.0.
Yeah. I thought I was going to be playing in the NBL or the NBA, playing basketball. That was what was important to me.
Yeah.
But I'm just way too short.
Yeah.
But
so I got the dreads.
It can take you to a point, but at some point your physical limits come into play.
Yeah, okay.
But,
so you're a massive baller, point guard?
Basketball, man.
Oh.
I used to play forward.
Forward. Oh, nice.
So I was a little bit undersized for my position, but I loved it.
Yeah. Can you dunk?
Back when I was very young, I could just manage it.
I watched that movie.
I tried recently to go, I reckon I could still get up there.
Nowhere near.
No.
I watched that movie once. Wesley Snipes, and you know who I'm talking about. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
What's the title of it?
I'm a white man and I can jump.
I don't know. You're pretty tall, actually, so I'm sure you would have been really good at it.
I loved it, honestly. It was a passion. And similar to high school, old teammates, still friends to this day. And although our knees and ankles don't permit us to play good basketball anymore, 2 knee reconstructions later.
I had one on my right knee. Crazy, playing country football, and it took me 18 months to recover from it, and it was hell. It was literally one of the toughest things. How did you go through yours? You got surgery in Melbourne?
Yeah, surgery in Melbourne. Basically, nearly 12 months of not playing any competitive sport, which I hated, because it was typically when you hurt yourself, you're right at a good spot in your playing career. It's the worst time.
You're getting to your peak. You're
of
pushing the
now
limits.
I'd never get injured because it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
But that was hell. Not being able to play.
Yeah.
And then I came back for maybe 12 months and then did the other one. It was do this all over again.
The Greek gods are saying stop.
Exactly. They were giving me a hint.
Like,
Maybe
God.
this isn't for you.
No. So then you go landscape architecture. Maybe that's the road you're
Maybe
going to
that's
go.
the path. Maybe how much can I hurt myself with a pencil? But yeah, so basically the journey to landscape architecture was I started to go to uni open days because I'm like, I know I want to do something, I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I went to a few open days, tried a few different things.
What uni? What uni did you decide
I looked at
on?
all of them.
Oh, okay.
I looked at RMIT. I eventually went to Melbourne.
Yep.
Elitist. Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I'm proof that they're not.
But mate, you got tattoos everywhere. I'm like, I can actually see how your creativity comes out within you. Like just beautiful artwork. I'm covered in tattoos myself, so
yeah, I love everything to do with tattooing.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like people go, "Oh, doesn't it hurt?" Or, you know, no, I love every part of it.
Yeah,
it's so good. And for me, it's just like your tattoos tell the story of who you are.
Yeah,
like and I often get asked, "Oh, do you regret any of your tattoos? Would you not get them again?" I'm like, "No, that's who I was at that particular point in time.
Yeah,
that's me. You can follow the story."
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
I remember getting my first one, and I was like 16, 18. Sorry, I mean 18.
Oh, of course, yeah,
at this beautiful tattooing place somewhere in the western suburbs. I won't say where. And I just remember thinking, this is an extension of who I am, and these are the things that I want to be on my body. So when people see me, they see this particular piece of artwork, and they'll ask me, like, what is it? Who is it? Like, and it's funny, it's my country's flag. So I was born in South America, in a little country called Guyana, and on the flag, it's on my chest, and it says one people, one nation, one destiny. And when I think about that now, like I'm in my 30s, I just think about community. And it's funny, like being a property developer, an engineer, whatever you want to call me, is that I want to be able to create a community where people are different with how we look, different with how we speak, but we're one community, all taking the steps forward to be better as a society. Yeah. So, and like your artwork, sometimes it doesn't have words, and it doesn't play a video like most people are consumed by Instagram or whatever it is, but it also tells an amazing story about who you are. So, so you've got one on your sleeve.
Yeah, so I got...
you don't have to get naked, by the way.
Full torso is all done, legs all done. So I've got one arm and one leg to go.
Yeah. Oh, nice. You're going to get that done this year, or?
Yeah, over the next couple of years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been basically getting tattooed every year or so since I was 18.
What?
And
expensive hobby.
Yeah, it is an expensive hobby. And that's probably
that's why you are the big dog.
That's probably what slows me down a little bit. You got to save up a little bit more each time. But yeah, I can't imagine ever stopping.
Yeah, okay.
Always adding little pieces.
So like, how does that flow into like your creativity when it comes to designing? So you would have started your career like most of us thinking, like, what is landscape architecture?
Yeah.
Like
when I first saw it, I had no idea. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like,
and that was in like university course subject when you saw it pop up? Like,
yeah. So that was at one of the open days at Melbourne Uni.
Yeah.
I was just walking through and I saw this poster for landscape architecture. I'm like, landscape architecture? What's that?
Yeah.
And so I just went over, started talking to the guy who's in this little booth.
Yeah. And he's like an old dude, probably digging up his backyard. So guy just renovate. He's like, hey guys, this is what you can do with a bit of creativity.
Yeah, exactly. But he must have done a good job selling it, because here I am.
Yeah.
But I thought it sounded really cool. I thought it blended a few of my passions together. It would let me design. It would let me be creative. Apologies to some of my architecture friends. It didn't seem as wanky. Yeah. As doing other things to me at that time. Yeah. I know better now.
Engineers are wanky too, by the way.
But yeah, I'd sort of like, okay, I'll try this. Worst case, I can always change later.
Yeah.
But I never did. It really sucked me in and I enjoyed it and never looked back.
So when you would have gone to uni, midway through your uni degree, like me, I was like, okay, now I have an understanding of like a little bit about the engineering sector, and you think you know it all. You get a little bit of work experience and you're like, oh shit, fuck, this is nothing like what I thought it was. Did you have that? Like,
it was a pretty confronting moment, like where you go, yeah, I know what landscape architecture is. I know what we do. I can do this.
Yeah.
I can, like, probably similar to my high school experience. I wasn't the best student.
Yeah.
But
All those
through.
open weeks that you would have attended,
Yeah,
those uni bars.
I embraced the uni lifestyle that didn't include studying. But I loved my time.
Favorite bar at uni? Do you remember? Like
at Melbourne Uni, you're lucky there are so
the
many
elitist
nice
uni within Melbourne, Hogwarts we call it.
I didn't do law. That's the fancy pants part. But yeah, it was great, and you're blessed for having so many good pubs and bars very close by in Carlton and the CBD and stuff. So good lifestyle.
Great lifestyle.
Really good lifestyle.
And you study your career, like, what was the first company you worked for? Like straight out, like, did you go overseas traveling? Like me, I was overseas from the age of like 18, 19. So
yeah,
like for me, work was always going to come second to developing myself as a person, understanding and seeing the world and opening my eyes rather than opening a textbook. So
yeah. No, mine's a bit different because it comes back to that Greek family heritage again.
You will go to school.
You will go to school, and then you will buy a house.
Yeah.
And like that's the next tick.
Yeah.
And these are the things you have to do.
Yeah.
So I got pushed, and I'm very thankful for it now. But I got pushed at an early age to basically buy a house.
Yeah.
And that ties you down a little bit.
Yeah,
when you just left uni and you're not really making any money. You're like, okay, sounds like a great idea.
Thanks, Mum.
Exactly, thanks, Mum. And now I am saying thanks, Mum.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she must be so proud of your career and what you've done. Like, I always think, like, my journey into the professional field was so different because sort of went like 18, 19, went overseas to like Wales, actually, in a little town called Llandudno. Played cricket at Llandudno Cricket Club, loved it, made some amazing people and met some amazing people and friends over there. And then went to the Caribbean for, I think it was like 8-9 months, played cricket there in Guyana, trying to follow the dream of being an international cricketer. Failed miserably. I discovered the little thing called rum and Cuban cigars.
That can happen.
Yes, it's tough. It's tough. But it wasn't until I think I was maybe 20, 21 where I'd had that initial experience living in my home country and seeing how communities really live and seeing what they really need, and obviously the bare essential, like running water, electricity, and just a roof over their head. Yeah. And how we could do this better. And it was really weird because when I saw things happen, like we have this bridge, and I'm from this little place called Linden, Guyana, and in order to get to my school every day, I caught a boat to school. People don't probably realize because I left it, like I came when I was 8. Yeah. So we left this beautiful place, but I caught a boat to school every day across the river and then walked to school. But it was interesting because there was a bridge, and once the bridge was broken, no one could cross the bridge to get obviously if they drove a car to get to work or to run food or natural water supplies. And it was so weird. I was like, what are we doing as a community, as a country, if there's a broken bridge and we can't fix it? And every time you fix it, you only fix it short term wise. You don't do it long term wise. And that sort of opened up my mind. I started thinking how we can create really good infrastructures where communities, anywhere, if you design roads, you can actually connect communities into rural areas, and then they can get access to medicine, running water, they can get food. So that's where I think my engineering inspiration came from, which was a little bit different. So
it's funny how that connection to your upbringing and childhood, when you reflect back, it does have such a strong connection to how your career path has travelled and that journey. Yeah, it's amazing.
So tell me, what do you do during the week? Are you someone that loves going out, bars? Are you relaxed sports? Because work's work. It consumes such a large part of your life, but it is not your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and it's really important that you have that balance. Yeah, because you can quickly lose it. Mm-hmm. And I probably did for a while. Yeah, a few years ago, had that balance out of whack.
It's too much, isn't it?
Way too much time at work and working, and missing out on living, basically. But now it's sport. I love sport still. Watching, not playing. I try to play, but it's not good.
You know Steph Curry, I'm guessing.
No,
I'm sure. Do you guys have like? Most companies have like a basketball team.
Yeah.
Are you on the basketball team
at
at Spiire?
Lunchtime basketball team,
okay.
Still have a go.
Yeah. Are you captain?
Old man game.
Matthew L. LeBron James.
I still have a go. We actually won a championship.
Really? Backyard championships?
Yeah. The corporate, like Melbourne City Council run like a corporate lunchtime comp.
Where's that at?
It's down Docklands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've never seen.
Yeah, it's just a 3-on-3 like quarter court, so it's not a full scale, but it's good fun. It gets you out of the office.
So who's in your team? Name your three in the office.
In the office,
yeah. Who's the bad boy in your team?
I have to shout out one of our young water engineers, Zubin. He has the best trash talk on the team. Like
he's like the Conor McGregor of basketball.
Absolutely. Like the sledging starts before the game. Like it's relentless, and I think that's his strategy of wearing down the opponent is just talk them to death, and that's how we win.
The other team just walks up and goes, "This championship is yours."
Oh, that's it. I felt really bad when we played this team once, and they had a guy who was quite good, but he was just a bit short. And he was standing in front of Zubin, and just to piss him off, Zubin just kept yelling, I'm open, there's no one around me. I just kept looking around, and this guy was just getting so pissed off. Yeah. And just towards the end of the game, some of the elbows started coming out. He didn't have enough. It was done. But nah, sport's a great escape.
So it's like that's your thing for like your work-life balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spiire I know a few people that work at Spiire, and they're pretty big on work-life balance. Yeah, so
absolutely.
You've got a pretty good culture there. Tell me about.
We're very lucky. The directors are all family guys, understand the importance of family time. Yeah. And they practice what they preach. Yeah. Like, they've got a great work-life balance, and they allow all of us to.
Yeah.
And really promote it.
Yeah.
Really actively try to make sure that culture comes first.
That's important.
And and that's where good work comes from. Like if you don't have good culture in an organisation, it's never going to succeed.
Yeah, I think like one of the things I've been trying to work on, and this is probably something that's only manifested probably within the last 18 months, is that when I thought about my successes, and I was always thinking about become an engineer, climb the ladder, become a senior engineer within a company, then maybe become director, then maybe own my own company. Yeah. That was my thing of like success. And when you get to a stage in your career and all you're thinking about climbing that ladder and that ladder and ladder, burns you out. It's like such a joke. And I think more engineers and more professionals have to realize that there's more to life than just being the best engineer or best landscape architect. And I shouldn't dictate your level of success. And I think I was mentioning you before we started the interview, like I think my level of success will be determined by my level of happiness.
Absolutely.
So if I'm making lots of money, I've got this high-powered job, but I'm not happy, I now have the understanding that I'm not successful. Yeah. I'm not. If I'm not happy, I'm not successful. And I think, what about you? Like,
I totally agree with that that statement, because for me, it's got to be about the passion.
Yeah.
If I don't believe in what I'm doing, and I'm not passionate about what I'm doing, I'm not going to do a good job.
Okay.
Like, it tells in the outcome. Like, you could see it, and in our field, you can literally see it because we build what we draw. So
comes out of your head.
If we don't believe in it, you can see it. You can spot it a mile away. So the passion and engagement is so important. And you're right. Like, happiness is a big part of success. And you can't measure happiness in dollar signs.
No, you can't.
And success is got to be the same.
Like,
if you can have all the money in the world, if you're miserable doing it, you're not successful.
So, like, when we go, you're coming into the industry being a young landscape architect, being in a position that you are, and you have a lot of young people who you're helping to shape their career and shape their understanding of what the industry is about. How do you approach that from a mentoring point of view? Like, do you have like one-on-one catch-ups a week? Like, how does it work for you?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, we definitely do that. And as I said, we're lucky that we have a lot of amazing young people in our team that are really eager to learn, and that's got to be step number one. Like, you can try to teach people whatever you want, but they've got to want to learn it.
Yeah.
And we're lucky we have a really engaged group. But yeah, it's a lot of one-on-one time, but it's also a lot of learning through doing, like helping them through actually doing the work.
Okay.
And they sort of learn along the way, and yeah, they're going to make mistakes. And it's about not hammering them for mistakes. It's about, mistakes are a part of life.
Yeah.
Everybody makes it.
Yeah. Like last Saturday night, I was out till like 3 a.m. Fuck. Sunday was not a good day.
Those seem to be the mistakes we keep repeating. Every time you and I talk, there seems to be
a common
theme occurring. Like, I walk in here, it's like I've been in the tennis all day yesterday, may have struggled in the bed this morning.
Do you want to tennis? Who did you watch yesterday? Do you remember?
Spiire from Germany.
Okay, yeah, never heard of him.
He was really good. I enjoy tennis as a spectator.
Okay.
I've tried to play it once, and that's not my game.
Yeah, no Roger Federer. Andre Agassi, more like it.
The hairline's closer to Andre.
Close.
But yeah, I think with junior guys, it's got to be about bringing them along for the journey, making them comfortable to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because that's the best way to learn, is by doing it, making a mistake and doing it better the next time.
Yeah.
And we just try to create an environment. I'm lucky to have a good senior team around me, so I work really closely.
Who is your senior team? Like, I only know a little bit about a few people that work at Spiire, so shout out. Like, tell me who the people like that you.
First and foremost would be Matt York, who's our principal LA, and who actually got me to Spiire. And this is continuing our theme, Romain. Yeah. We met at a bar after an industry event. It was actually at Cookie.
At Cookies? Where, upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were both in the queue waiting for cocktails, and it was taking ages.
Mojitos.
I can't even remember what it was. It was probably a whiskey sour.
Okay, yeah.
And we're just waiting, and then eventually we just sort of started talking. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a landscape architect. I'm like, oh, no shit, I'm a landscape architect. And we just start talking. We're getting along really well. Finally, our drinks come out, and he's like, hey, here's my card. Call me on Monday.
Yeah.
So I did, and I started working there about 3 weeks later.
That is one hell of a story.
Yeah, it was amazing. I had no intention of changing jobs or doing anything. It just happened, and yeah, amazing.
That's great. So, like, I think you have Sean Brick working on it. I work with Sean on other projects.
Sean Brick is my right-hand man. Like, I couldn't...
Blink 182.
That guy.
Blink 182.
Great Sean Brick story.
Okay,
he nearly got into a fight at our Christmas party with a DJ.
Really?
Because the DJ refused to play a Blink 182 song.
I would refuse too.
And he actually got one of our directors, pulled him on stage and told him to force the DJ to play Blink 182.
Sean, if you're listening...
And the guy still wouldn't play it.
Really?
And then as we're leaving, all we can hear is Blink 182 start up.
Oh, no.
He knew what he was doing.
That's like a big stuff in Sean. Yeah. I'm not a big Blink 182 fan, but I can appreciate good music, and it was funny because I still remember the first time I met Sean, but I don't remember him because of his name or anything like that or his face. I just remember his tattoo, and I remember seeing that tattoo again, and I was like, oh, we've met before. And he's just a cool human being to be around. I give him so much stick, to be fair.
And he's actually really good with our junior staff. Like, Sean is such a great mentor and teacher because he's so patient.
Yeah.
And he's been incredible with our younger guys.
Yeah.
And we have another person, Marg Sangali, who works on a lot of our systems and processes and make sure that we're being efficient and getting it right and not making mistakes. Yeah. So we couldn't do it without Marg's role either. So the four of us work really closely together, and between the four of us,
you guys rock.
Yeah. That keeps us all moving.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Yeah, take one of us out and we'd probably start to struggle. It's about being a team though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to have good people around you.
We're about that too. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned, I'm at DFC, and it's always, I always think about it. it's so important to have a good team.
Absolutely.
And it's always about the team, like having people understand who you are as an individual creates that safer environment for people to take chances and create dialogue to obviously make progress. So having that as a young engineer or developer, like this podcast could be called The Young Landscape Architect, whatever it is, it's just the intention of this is to create that space where people can come on and have a voice and talk about their own story within the industry and the lessons that they've learned and mistakes that they've made and the successes that they've had. So like tell me about some of your successes and failures that has defined you.
So there's been a fair bit of both.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Most recent project.
Most recently, I'm really proud of a lot of the work we're doing at the moment. Like, I feel like we've put a big emphasis on design and sustainability.
Yeah.
Sustainability is something, like it's a big topic, right?
Yeah, correct.
Like, sustainability can mean a million different things.
But no one really has a great understanding of what sustainability is. And I'm still learning myself. I'm
honestly,
no expert at all. So
you could get
my hand up, guys.
10 different experts in a room, they'll give you a different definition of what it is, right? But for us, it's about, obviously as landscape architects, in our most recent projects, we're trying to get environmental sustainability. That's an obvious one for us. But it's also about social sustainability and exactly what you were talking about community building. Like, we're in the unique position that we create spaces for people.
Yeah,
like,
you're creating communities for everybody. Like,
exactly.
My biggest thing is like creating sustainable communities for future generations. Like,
exactly right.
Like, I've got a young child. Like, I could not think of anything worse for me. I'd feel like I failed if my only focus was on progressing in my career and making money.
Yeah.
If I can't create an environment, a society where she can thrive and be the best version of herself, I think I failed. I genuinely think. And when I'm designing as a developer and I'm going through that planning process and going through that design process, construction process, my big thing is I want to design somewhere that I would live and my daughter would live.
Yeah,
and other families.
And that's what we tell, especially our junior staff,
yep.
because when they're designing something, we'll ask, like, who are you designing this for?
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, the client. I'm like, no, you're designing this for the family that lives there, the kids that are there, the mum and dad over there, the grandparents over there.
Yeah.
These are all people.
Yeah.
Like, you have to put yourself in that headspace.
Yeah.
You're creating this space for people to live and enjoy and play. And that's a huge focus for us, is creating the best spaces we can and trying to do that in the most sensitive way that we possibly can as well. And that's, for us, that's sustainability.
Yeah.
So if you can improve the environment and leave the space in a better place than it was before, and create a place for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
And then probably the third box that you have to tick is it has to be financially sustainable as well. Like, you can't design something that's then going to be cost prohibitive to keep.
Yeah.
So it has to be sustaining in that way. And if you can tick all three of those boxes, well, then you've got a successful project.
Yeah, you're moving in the right direction, I think, to create something that's long lasting.
Absolutely.
Like I was having this conversation with the CEO of UDIA, Danny. She's an amazing human being, like
Absolutely.
Massive advocate for her, like very impressive. And it's kind of interesting. I was explaining to her that when you're like designing from a landscape architecture point of view, and I'm walking through all these parks and wetlands that I go through, and there's one thing I would love to see more is that an interactive type of playgrounds or wetlands where, like, an example would be like every 100 meters you have like a station, so people from different communities can come and learn a little bit about that history of that block of land that was there before, and they press a button or they go there on their phone.
Yeah. And
for example, they might just go think, and a little barcode comes up and tells a story about the Aboriginal history in the community, what the land was used for, who the farmers were, who, like, was it, farmland before, like, were they...
Absolutely.
They grow crops.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's great that you mentioned that, because we're doing something very similar to that on a project up in Canberra, actually.
Canberra.
Where we have this creek line.
Yeah.
And the site's actually got a lot of really significant Indigenous heritage, but so many people know nothing about it.
I know nothing about it.
And so it's been a great journey for us. We've been having lots of conversations with the local Indigenous groups and met some wonderful people through that, and telling us these amazing stories I had no idea about.
Yeah.
And I've learnt so much, and it's now our job is to translate those stories through the landscape, and how can we tell those stories so that everyone can enjoy them and learn from them. And
through that process,
that's our role as landscape architects, is to sort of translate that and make it tangible for people so that they can come and experience, and as you say, learn more about their environment and their community.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a great project for us, where we can actually start to...
What's the project called?
It's called Denman Prospect,
okay,
up in Canberra.
Okay.
And we're lucky enough to work for a wonderful client there who's really passionate about community building. So yeah,
I think that's one of those things project. Like once you have a client that is focused not just on making money, but is focused on sustainability and creating communities, I think they're more susceptible to new, different ideas instead of what we've done. Yeah. Like, obviously, it's like making a cake. If you put in the recipe, put in the eggs, all that type of stuff, yeah? But how can you create something that's a little bit different? How can you create something that's going to, create that wow factor?
Exactly. And I don't think there's enough of that thinking at the moment. Like, I think there's a lot of really good developers and consultants that want to do that. Yeah. But in the same breath, there's quite a few that don't, which is a bit of a shame. But I think it's particularly around sustainability. Yeah. I think, unfortunately, at the moment, from a policy and legislation point of view, everything's framed around meeting a minimum standard,
requirement,
right? You must comply by doing at least this. And as long as you measure things in minimums, you're never going to get excellence, because people are just going to comply, right?
Yeah. You're going to do the bare minimum to get through. It's like it's like university.
Human nature, right? Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like uni.
Like people just want to go by.
Please get degrees.
Exactly. So people are just going to tick boxes, right? Yeah. And I think until the system changes to reward excellence and innovation and actually encourage it, then we're still just going to end up with some do it really well and others don't.
Who's the, I've recently been having discussions with Brendan Condon, who created the Cape Patterson.
An amazing
beautiful,
development.
Jesus Christ. That guy is on a next level.
Yeah.
If you look at all the award-winning designs within the last 5 years since you've been dominating in the industry, what projects would you say that you would deem as being really successful?
I think a lot of projects are successful on different levels. Like, I think a lot of projects do little things really well. And I think, like, if I think of recent examples, we recently did a park for Stockland. And we basically made the entire park out of recycled materials.
What? Where is this park?
It's in Craigieburn.
Okay, nice.
At their Highlands development.
I'll have to go check it out.
The idea actually came from a conversation with their then landscape manager.
Do you want to get a drink? Grab a drink.
Grab a drink.
Yeah, man.
A lot of talking.
No, I'll do the talking if you want.
Yeah, so we were just chatting, keeping the theme alive over a couple of beers.
Yeah.
And they were celebrating 10 years of development.
Wow.
At Highlands at this time. This is a couple of years ago. And so we got to talking about it, and then he started telling me stories about all the weird shit he's found dumped on the side that they have to clean up, and like all the weird and wonderful, like burnt out car bodies and tires.
There's always burnt out cars,
building materials, and just this weird shit that he's found all across the site. And then a few more beers, and then we thought, wouldn't it be cool to make something out of all that rubbish?
Yeah.
Like, just collect it all, gather it all in one spot, and try and make something.
Yeah.
And we thought that was a bloody wonderful idea. And then that started the journey, and it was a difficult one to convince. Like, council just laughed at us.
It's
They're
so
like,
hwant to get councils to approve things.
You want to build a playground out of rubbish. They're like, get out of here. But eventually we worked on it, developed the idea and got it to the point where it's now built, it's open. And I would say, you talk about success and failure, I would say that project's got a bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
Because it opened my eyes that you can do some wonderfully innovative things, right? You can think outside the box and come up with these crazy ideas and make them happen. But you can only get some limited success because there was hurdles and roadblocks all along the way that we had to tick. Because rubbish doesn't have a warranty, or it doesn't come with safety papers. So we had to jump a lot of hurdles, and I'd love to do it again and try and push it even further next time.
I actually recently went and looked at I think it's Boran Reserve on Glen Huntly Road. Impressive. That is epic.
Yeah.
That is like one, like
really impressive.
My daughter does not want to leave there. I'm like, I don't like them because of that, because I spend 12 hours there.
Success, man. If you can build a playground that the kids don't want to leave, that is success.
Oh my God. Like it is like, it's epic. Even I love playing there. And I think if you really look at something that's practical, it's about getting the parents involved too, and parks, and getting the community involved, where everybody has something there for them to be able to interact. And I think that's kind of cool. Like, I have no understanding of the design process. Like, talk me through it. Like, what goes on? Like, how do you come up with a design? Like, I have no understanding.
Literally, sometimes it starts from just like staring at a blank sheet of paper and going, what are we going to do? But you start delving into a site's history, its ecology, flora and fauna, and all of a sudden these ideas start to come out. And ideas start from the sense of place, really. And often it's about what the aspiration for that community is too. Like, what do we want this place to be? And then you sort of develop the idea from there, and it starts to flow. You think about your users, obviously. Most important thing is who you're building it for.
And can you get it approved by council?
Yeah, we don't let that stymie us too much at the start. We worry about that later.
That's later.
That's tomorrow's problem. But sometimes we go and talk to the community. Like, I've had so many great days where I've gone to like barbecues or community events, and you just talk and you go, "What do you want?" Like, I'm not going to tell you what you want. You tell me.
I wish that happens more.
Yeah,
I wish that happens more.
Me too.
Because you got to, like, you're building something for someone for the future.
Exactly.
Without understanding who they are now or what they want.
Yeah.
How can you do that without dialogue?
I've had some of the best times. I'll never forget one in particular. We're doing this park in Werribee. Yeah. And we
shout out to where's 3030. I got some boys there. Yeah.
We're designing this park, and we actually built this 3D model, right, where in virtual reality, so kids could go into this playground, put a headset on, and play it like a video game, because we thought that would be a great way to get kids engaged into the process of consultation and talking. And there was this one kid in particular did not want to get off this thing. Like, he was loving life. Yeah. And at the end, mum convinces him to take the headset off. I'm like, so, what do you think? Is it fun? He's like, yeah, but it needs a giraffe and a trampoline. And I'm like,
hard man to please.
Interesting feedback. All right. And the best thing about it was, we went back to the office, we pulled out the drawings, we're like, how are we going to fit in a giraffe and a trampoline?
Wow.
So we put in a trampoline, and now we've got an artist painting a mural of a giraffe on the wall.
That is amazing.
And I just hope that this kid goes back to that park. Yeah. Once it's finished, it's getting built right now. And I'd love to see the look on his face when he goes out there and he sees that trampoline and that giraffe.
You're like, I got you, boy. I got you.
I got you.
Fist bumps and all. You know, the weirdest thing is that you might actually inspire that kid to actually become a landscape architect.
I hope we do.
Imagine if he goes on to be someone that's amazing within the industry and an award-winning landscape architect, just because you are willing to go that extra step.
That's the power of our industry, man. Yeah. Like, we create these places that will inspire the next generation, just like you and I had journeys of our childhood, and we were inspired to go down this path. Yeah. That, we're creating those spaces for other people now.
It's like one of those things that we probably take for granted, how much our childhood shapes us within our careers later down the track. Like,
definitely.
It's kind of crazy. So what's the next step in your life? Like, tell me, what do you have?
So at the moment I'm studying. So I'm doing a master's in property at RMIT. So that's keeping me busy.
Shout out all to property development companies. You've got an amazing person that's possibly needs a job. And no, sorry, Spiire. Joking.
We'll beep that bit out. No, it's been cool. I'm 3 years in, one more
3
to
years
go.
in, and we're at
RMIT.
RMIT, sorry.
Yeah,
I think I missed that. That's...
So yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
So
I'm enjoying it.
What's that like as a degree?
It's been full on because obviously
God.
working full time, studying part time, and then still finding time for life. Has been tricky.
Beautiful partner, social life,
Exactly.
dating, all those things that come along.
Jeez. All those things. Try not to neglect my beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah. What's her name? Shout out.
Sarah.
Okay. Sarah,
Yeah.
I'm just taking him away for a few hours today.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just trying to get that balance right.
Yeah.
Of work, school, and
all that type of
life.
stuff. Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it, man. I'm having a great time. It's a good course. They got some good people teaching it, so I'm loving it. Where it goes, I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah.
No idea.
It's tough. It's one of those things you study and you just follow the path.
Exactly.
And you just find a way and you end up where you
it's
end
what
up.
you said before. You can spend all this time stressing about what the future's going to be.
Yeah.
Just let it come.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
right.
ride the waves with it, and you never know what's going to be around the next corner. So just let it come.
Do you think you're like, with that being said, do you think you will do like some developments? Like, one of the biggest questions I have within myself and within the industry, and the industry is dictated by a lot of people who think in a certain way. But the one question that keeps coming back to me is like, when can you classify yourself as a property developer? And someone said to me, it's not until you develop your own property or your own companies. And I'm like, how does that work? So I could work within the industry for, 10, 15, 20 years and never develop my own property, but I develop all these communities, but I can't call myself a property developer.
Of course you can.
It's like a weird thing. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course you can.
Yeah.
It takes, like you would know from being in there, the amount of people and time and energy it takes on these projects to deliver it on the ground. But property development occurs at all levels, right? Like you got your mums and dads just building a unit on the back kind of thing.
They're a developer.
They're a developer. And then you've got the people creating communities in entire new suburbs. They're a developer, but it takes a lot of people to achieve that.
It's not just one shoe fits all. Because, as you said, I think a mum and dad or just an average person, just a home, just finds a block of land. And then puts, a couple of units or puts a new house on there. I think they're developers as much because they create a feel within a community. They create a certain ambience or a sort of culture through their designs and
new character to an area.
Exactly right. And
definitely.
It's kind of interesting. So, what's on for the rest of the day?
Today
Tell me.
Is catching up with a mate I went to high school with. For even more drinks.
Okay.
Monday, I'm glad is a public holiday in Melbourne.
Recovering.
Because I can actually recover and let my liver cleanse itself a little bit.
That theme is repeating itself over and over and over again.
Whenever you and I talk.
I would love to see you. I think I mentioned it before, and this might be a little bit controversial, but I'd love to see you running maybe one day your own landscape architect company. I think
you never know.
I think you have to do it. You owe it to yourself. Like you've just got these brilliant ideas, and Spire's a fantastic company, and I think they do a great job, and they're quite a leader within the industry. But I also think it's good for big companies to also push people to work for themselves and design for themselves, because it gives them a better understanding of how the industry actually works.
You're totally right. And I think that's where I am lucky at Spiire, is they're very encouraging of people wanting to do their own thing outside of Spiire. They understand work's not life, like we said before. So they're very encouraging of that. And that's why when I wanted to do this study, they were super supportive and said, for sure, go do it. But I think you're right. Like sometimes you've got to take on these other things outside of your day job. Just to explore other things and open your mind a bit more. And the trap is to start thinking like really siloed, right? And you just only ever see the same thing day to day.
You can't go anywhere else.
And you need to do everything you can to get out of that headspace. And
I think one of the things I want to see is that more companies within Australia being we're leaders within this space, I think, because Australia is still developing. It's got so much land that we can utilize all the experts that we have here to develop other countries and incorporate other landscape architecture over in like South America and Asia and Italy and Europe and all these places. Do you think that we'll ever do, like you'll ever do that, or we'll ever transition to that, where companies within Australia are doing more over there?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think we've seen bits of it, like particularly in China and the Middle East, of great Australian professionals applying their trade and expertise overseas. Over there. Where I would love to see it happen more is probably in more emerging communities, where people can actually apply their skills to help, newly or developing
worlds,
countries,
exactly,
and provide that expertise and hopefully teach another generation of future professionals in those places. Yeah. And I think that would be really exciting.
Cool. All right. So on that note, Matthew, thank you so much for coming in today, mate. I really appreciate you coming on. Like, mate, it means a lot, and I'd love to have you on again. And anything I can help or shout out to anyone. Do you want to make mention to where to find you at Spiire? Because obviously, at the end of the day, you run an organisation. So if people want to get in contact with you to maybe do some designs or some projects, tell us how to get in contact with you.
Absolutely, just jump on the website. Spiire.com.au. You can find us all there. Always happy to have a chat with anyone, whether it's about a project or you just want to talk. Always happy to have a chat. Find us there, and just shout out to all of my team at Spiire, because I couldn't do what I do without all of them.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Man.
Cheers, bud. You're a ledge.
You too, buddy.